I vote that John puts on the Hulk hands. What do you guys think?
You what?
I want John to put the Hulk hands on. They'll match your shirt. I want to see John with those on.
John with the Hulk hands.
Yeah. Do we have to save that for another episode? He doesn't look enthusiastic.
No, he looks like he's ready for bed. John, you should be excited. You want to know why? It's quiet and Charles is not here.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We're here for another Sunday night episode. It's a collector's podcast here on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of new content throughout the week. We have our full episodes on Sundays, and you may be listening to us on your favorite podcast app. We appreciate you as well. Please follow us there. You can check out 5idiotstalkingtoys.com. That will get you to all of the links for everything that we do, our sales page, our socials, and our merch store, where you can get your own hats, t-shirts, mugs, and apparel with 5 Idiots Talking Toys all over it. Let's bring the boys in right now. John's here, Chris, Brandon, and Charles. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
What's up?
All
Howdy.
right, so we just did a wrap-up recently that's probably already up for Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's been premiered, the first 2 episodes. That's what's been going on in the Star Wars world. Brandon was just at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, so we got to see a lot of fun videos of everything that you found. We still have some more content we're going to be posting up, which will probably be up by the time this episode airs. What else has been going on in the Star Wars world, guys?
How was Celebration, Brandon?
It was great. It was packed. It was high energy. A lot of good content being released by Disney and Star Wars. High energy.
Have you guys ever seen Brandon with high energy?
No, never.
Well, when I'm plowing through people trying to get through the door and find some good vintage stuff, I mean, that's about as high energy as I get.
Yeah, I have to take it back. I've only seen Brandon with high energy once, and that's when he is going after the I can't even say it. He's like a Kardashian and like a paparazzi. He loves his autographs. He loves celebrities. He loves the fan base. He fights tooth and nail for those autographs. He was the third sister running over buildings, jumping over everything to get autographs.
It's true. It's true. I did see him at ICCC. He saw the 7th Rebel Commando from Endor off in the distance. He knocked over an 87-year-old woman, 3 small children, and a little person to get this guy's autograph.
Yeah, loves it. He loves it.
That is how opposite we are. I couldn't care less who signs a photo I have. I don't want your signature. I'm not paying for your signature. I don't want it for free. I wouldn't even hang it up. I want nothing to do with your signature. I don't even want to see you hold a pen.
That's baloney. Chris says me neither. He's got an autograph collection that he has stored away somewhere.
No, I have a couple of like framed posters that are like nice display pieces. But when it comes to like these little 4x4 pictures of a guy smiling, holding onto an airplane, like I don't care. Like I don't need your autograph on it. Like
but Brandon, he just Charles. I'm sorry, Christopher just gets those to flip them.
Oh yeah, flip them.
Oh, here we go.
That's why they're still sitting there.
So this episode is going to be about flipping, and that's why I said that jokingly. We're going to get to that in a moment. Let's go ahead over and throw it over to one of you boys who's got something in that's fun to share for this week. What is come in that's new for the collection?
It's mine, you understand? Mine, all mine!
So I guess that's the reason why I'm wearing gloves. So I have so much acrylic, and I keep touching everything in my collection, and I get fingerprints everywhere.
I thought you were going to give somebody an exam.
No, so I finally went out. I bought 10 pairs of gloves. So now when I touch anything, I put gloves on.
So you and 9 of your friends can go through your collection at the same time.
Correct. So
Okay.
I got the battle damaged X-wing graded, but as you can see, the cockpit fell off during shipping.
Oh no!
Bottom, because the way that this very smart grading company did it was they put a piece of tape to hold the cockpit on. That's it, a piece of tape, and it came right off. So now I have this beautiful graded, and it has a cockpit laying on the ground.
Who graded it?
So this was graded by UKG. But here's the thing. I bought this on eBay, and when you buy it through the global shipping program and there's any damage that happens, because technically this is damage, they automatically refund you the money and you keep the item. So this item was free.
Wow.
And I got my money back. And they told me to keep it. So
Oh wow!
it's staying in my collection. I'm still fine with it, but it is a little bit annoying that I have a cockpit laying on the floor.
So now
So
you
who flips the bill for
flip
the?
it. You get
The global shipping program reimburses the seller, and then I keep this, and then they actually reimbursed me, I guess, too.
So your cockpit is just flying and flapping all around in there.
Yes, my cockpit is just flapping.
We're a family show, Shane.
What are you talking about? A filthy mind down there in San Diego. Who else has got anything they want to show? No, I
got nothing this
some
week.
things I got, but John, do you have something?
I got nothing this week.
I will tell you that in another week or so, I will have the biggest item, my Grail piece, come in, and I'll be very excited to show that off when it comes in. So
Nice. All right.
That's
good.
the 90 plus Lobot.
90 plus Lobot, yes.
Yeah.
it's so hard to get.
Yeah. Charles has a
buy,
95 that he ran over with his car.
I did buy not one but 5 new Star Wars T-shirts while at Celebration. So
Oh wow!
I get to add 5 more shirts to my drawers.
Of course,
Does
Oh
that
my
mean you have to
gosh.
remove 5 shirts out of your drawers? That's how it works in my house.
I think it might.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he actually has to take out Yoda's now out of his drawer to fit the shirts in.
He used to take out 64 Yodas to fit the 5 shirts
Yodas
in.
do not take up any room.
All right.
So Shane, you said that you got something in this week.
I do. So the first item is it's a Leia Bosch for my collection, for my focus. Unpainted torso. It is. Oh, let me get in the screen here. It is a Hong Kong, and it's got a really nice grade. It's an 85 plus.
Oof. I love Shane has the grading pieces now. This is nice to see.
Yeah, so I was really happy to add this really high grade to the collection. I believe I have an 80 plus, but I don't even have an 85 yet. So 85 plus, I was really happy to get that in and add that in.
you don't have gloves on, so that was an 85 plus.
Right.
It will probably be 85 by the time you're done with it.
Right. I spilled some sauce on it before. Just lick that right off. Next one is
Wow.
Leia Poncho, and this is a no COO one line, and it's a 90.
Ooh.
Oof.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was really happy to add that as well. I have
Very nice high
this is my
grades.
first graded, I believe, of Leia Poncho. So I have a couple of carded figures. The carded I have from John from back in the day. And so I was happy to add those 2 Leias to my Leia Focus. And that's what I have for this week.
Is it a Leia Focus or is it a Leia Boosh Focus? Because I always thought it was like Boosh.
Yeah, it's a Boosh Focus, but I've kind of started to expand into adding some more Leia Ponchos. I have maybe 3 carded, 3 mocks. And so I was happy to add this graded piece. I mean, I don't have any 90s in my collection. This is the first 90. So I was just happy to add this to such a nice, highly graded piece.
Oh, yeah.
So if they make a smaller figure of the new Leia from the Obi-Wan series with the gap in the teeth, would you buy that one?
with the 10-year-old Leia.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't really buy modern figures, but I did think of that. Like, I wonder if they'll come out with the action figures for the kids. You know, Luke hasn't really made much of an appearance in the series yet, but I did have that thought. I wonder if they'll make the modern figures for them.
Oh, I'm sure
they will.
Because they made an Anakin, right? They made an Anakin back in the day. He's a little tiny action figure from when he was a kid.
So they did release the new Obi-Wan figures at Celebration, so you can see what they look like.
Oh,
they just showed Obi-Wan, and they didn't show any other characters other than the villains. But so far, that's it.
The Grand Inquisitor looks really good, I thought. Is that a Black Series? I didn't know if that was a Black Series or 3 3/4, but
those are all 3 3/4. So come check them out. They're on our page. The new release is from Hasbro, as seen at Star Wars Celebration.
I thought that figure looked particularly good, and it looks very much like the actor who plays
it. So it actually looks so good that he dies in the first 10 minutes of the episode 1. So now you don't need to see it anymore. We're good.
I hope they fix that quick.
They're going to make another one with a lightsaber damage.
Oh, the tip hanging out. Oh, gotcha.
All right, yeah. All right, boys, let's move on to the next segment. Let's hear about the win of the week in the Star Wars universe that we all live. Brandon, what do you got?
I think I've got a win of the week. I was able to attend Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim this past weekend, and it was a 4-day event. I was there for all 4 days. Brought my family along as well, and we all enjoyed a great time together and got to see some really cool things. A lot of panels discussing new Star Wars content with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau with the new Bad Batch seasons that are coming out. Also, Tales of the Jedi, which is a new short stories or short animated series that's coming out. I think 6 episodes. That's Dave Filoni. It's his creation of certain characters like Ahsoka and when she's born and how she's learning her way through the Force. Also, Count Dooku makes an appearance. Liam Neeson's son will be playing a young Qui-Gon Jinn. So that definitely got a lot of the crowd. The crowd got going after seeing those big names being put up on the screen, and also those characters being brought back. Also, they were able to play us an episode of an Ahsoka, the birth of Ahsoka, and how the mother of Ahsoka in this. I don't want to spoil too much here, but the mother of Ahsoka is a famous character. The real life actor is a famous character from Battlefront. If anybody's ever played that video game, the main character for Battlefront, the TIE pilot that you play, the live actor or actress in this case, she is the mother of Ahsoka in this series. So she was up on stage as well. So That was pretty cool to see. I got to see the new Andor trailer that got dropped. Also got to see the cast of Andor. They came out on stage and they were able to talk. I think I got a couple videos of those posted as well.
And I'll give a shout out. We did a review of the Andor trailer on our channel. So if anybody hasn't seen that yet, check it out on our YouTube channel.
Yep. So got to see Mon Mothma, got to see Cassian Andor live in person there as they talked about the episode. Got to see, obviously, all the vintage toys that were around and all the new modern stuff, new Legos, new Hasbro releases, which is also on the page here. So come check that out. A lot of new content that's being released by Disney, Star Wars, Hasbro, Mattel, Legos. A lot of really good stuff out there. So it's definitely a treat to go see that. Got to see Ian McDermott a couple times. Get to see Juan Carlo Esposito walking around. Obviously, Moff Gideon. That was pretty neat. Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen were there. So it was a good time to walk around, see those people, and be embraced with all the fellow nerds that were there. Obviously, you can turn to somebody in line, and I was waiting in line to see, the Anthony Daniels panel, and there was somebody there that was talking about, something that only we would understand. Got to do the Mandalorian experience and see all the live action props and stuff that were used, and a full size Naboo starfighter was there for people to look at. obviously Cad Bane's outfit, his face, all the different things they did for that actor were there. And also all the other actors from not only Mandalorian, but also Book of Boba was there as well. So
Book of Boba? I wish I was there for that.
They had all the cool stuff there from that. So it was good to see all that. Obviously, we added all those as YouTube shorts on our page as well. But it was good to chat about that. I was wearing a 5 Idiots hat there, and the person behind me in line did comment on that because it had the IC logo on there as well. It was like, hey, are you part of the IC? And so we got to talking about that. They actually grade a lot of figures themselves and send them in for grading and stuff like that. So we now have a new subscriber to the podcast and the sales page. So it's good just to be there with fellow idiots and talking toys and talking about Star Wars. So overall, it was a great weekend.
Nice.
I've
never been to a celebration, and I was a little bit, once I started seeing all the stuff that you were sharing with us, I was a little bit surprised for some reason about how much they were revealing there, like first look revealing toys and media and movies and series, and then it's all of a sudden very quickly I was like, well, duh. I mean, the whole thing is Star Wars celebration, but also promotion. I mean, the whole thing is a marketing / celebration event. And so it makes a lot of sense that it's like Toy Fair mixed with, a con, a Comic-Con type, but it's just really cool that you got to see so many different aspects of the Star Wars, universe, toys, movies, shows, cosplay, actors were there, props from the movies and the series. I mean, just it sounds amazing. I would love to go one year. We just found out it's going to be in London next year, right?
Yeah.
So I might not make that one, but maybe
my bags
2024.
already, getting ready to go.
I just want to say thank you to Brandon. He was there for 4 days, and he videotaped so much content, and he took so much time at it. No, seriously. You really did videotape a lot of content for us. So we have a lot of videos. They're either like right up there, and we already posted them, or they will be posted. There's tons of content, though. You got us a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I want to actually say thank you to Charles for finally saying something nice on this podcast about someone else. That's very nice.
Once in a while, when it's due, they get it.
Yeah. Are you talking about
Thanks,
Negative
Charles.
Nancy?
That means a lot.
Negative Nancy, yeah.
Sour Sally? Sour Susie?
Compliment from Charles. I'm mentally recording this one right now.
Yeah, take a picture. Don't wait for the next time. All right, guys, let's switch it up. Let's go for Whiff of the Week in the Star Wars universe. Where did we land? Who had the Whiff of the Week this week?
So I think no one else had one. So I had a purchase on one of the Facebook groups. I think it was like $100 shipped. I bought some loose figures off somebody. Never bought from them before, so I did not send them friends and family. I sent them goods and services through PayPal, and he ghosted me. No answering on messages, nothing, and I had to file something through PayPal.
Jeez.
I'm fortunate that hasn't happened to me, but like, what's the first step you take? You reach out to the admins of that group, I guess.
Yeah, you do that. You file it through PayPal. I mean, he is not even there anymore. I can't even send him a message. He blocked me. So now I have to, file it through PayPal, which I already did, and I've done it before. They're usually really good. You get your money back. So
just a total scammer, not even somebody who fell off for a number of different reasons, like literally sold you, got your money, and blocked you, whatever it was.
Yep. Yeah. It's probably maybe the second or third time in the last few years. So it's really not that common.
Yeah.
But it does happen.
And, that's a good thing to point out, just as like a tip for newer collectors or collectors who haven't bought much online or maybe new to some of these groups and don't know names yet. I mean, even the five of us who have been collecting for a while and we know a lot of the people that typically sell, if we haven't individually bought from somebody, we'll message each other and say like, hey, have you guys ever bought from this guy? And I know I do that. And 2 or 3 of you will chime in like, oh yeah, great guy. I've done a bunch of business with him. And then all of a sudden the switch is flipped in my head. I'm good to go. Like, you know, I got the green light. If you've made some friends in the groups and you want to ask around for a reference about somebody who you haven't bought from before, absolutely do it. You know, try to get somebody to say, hey, yeah, this is a good guy to buy from. You're not always going to get that, but definitely don't send friends and family if you don't know the person and you've got no references.
Yeah, for sure.
I've actually been pretty fortunate. I haven't gotten scammed at all, but most of my collection I did not buy off of Facebook. I had it beforehand. So I really haven't got a lot of pieces myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm a little bit too trusting sometimes, like not in the sense of sending, you know, friends and family or whatever, but I joke about this all the time. And you guys know, I end up with a pile of boxes in the corner, you know, somewhere in my house. Yeah. And, you know, I'm opening a box last night and I messaged you guys from somebody who we know. And they sent it a month ago. It's been sitting in my house for a month and I open it up and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember buying this. So, you know, it's like you don't want to be that either. You don't want to be too trusting to where you're like losing track of what you're doing. But
you got to be careful with that. I've gotten burned on that a couple times where I've let stuff sit for a while because I've been busy and it just gets put in a pile and I finally get to it a month later, 2 months later. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I forgot I even had this. And I open it up and it's like missing stuff.
Yeah. And
I believe this. I have another compliment for Brandon. You have brought that up on some other show or maybe on our chat, and Shane said, you know what, I'm going to start doing that. And that was like months and months ago. Yeah. And you know what? He didn't even listen to you. Like, he didn't care what you said because he still waited a month.
Think about this. Think about Shane opens a box a month later and something is wrong. You cannot go back to that guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's done because, like, at least for me, like, you wait a week or 2 weeks through. If you come back and say something is missing, it's very hard to believe that a box was sitting there for such a long period of time.
I want to say it's 30 days through PayPal. I could be wrong.
Well, I'll tell you, listening to Brandon is like a diet, like following a diet. Like you start doing really well. Like Brandon tells me this for the next 3 months. I'm opening stuff like on my porch, like no. You know, at some point I fell off the wagon and a pile just started building up again. And it's like, I'm off the diet. So, but I will say this though. A lot of the stuff I bought was very common stuff. I didn't have anything sitting like graded pieces or like, you know.
You okay, Chris?
Things that are, I didn't have anything sitting that I was really worried about.
It's been a very long day with the kids in the backyard in the sun. And it just, you know.
You gotta have your bearings. All 5 of us are all being recording the same time. We see everything you're doing. You can't sneak in that giant yawn anymore.
I'm drinking coffee. John, at 11 o'clock at night. I'm drinking coffee.
John, can you put Chris in the big window? We need to see what he's doing over there. Bring Chris in full screen while we keep talking. We want to see what's doing over there.
What's the topic of the week here?
Let's get into the topic.
Hang on.
Already.
He just asked the question.
Okay.
I'm leaning back.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get over to the topic of the week is who wants to, you know, jump in and just kind of set the tone for what this topic is all about.
So flipping, one of the main things that people get very butthurt about is when you sell an item and then that person is immediately selling it on another group for more money. Do you care if they're doing that? And my answer is no, I don't care. Whatever you buy from me, sell it. If you got it for free, sell it. I don't care at all. None of that bothers me. The only thing that will bother me when you buy an item is if you give me a really long sob story, and it's happened. If you give me a very long sob story and you want like $100 off an item that's like $500, So now you're getting it for 400, and now you're selling it immediately on another page back for 500. That's when I'm like, okay, I just take a mental note. I don't say nothing, and I just won't deal with that person ever again, because it actually has happened before. But otherwise, you can sell anything from me. If you can make money, go for it. I'm all for that. I actually try and price stuff accordingly so that if you actually wanted to, you could.
So I was going to say, if no one is flipping your stuff, you are either overcharging or you're just trying to get every last dollar out of the person. If you just sell stuff for the highest price you possibly can, and you're like, you know what? No one ever flips on me. No one flips on you because you charge too much money. That's probably why. And there's always a sucker out there. Someone will overpay. And I'm the same as Chris. As long as you don't have a sob story, you could buy something, from me, and you get it in on Wednesday, and you list it Wednesday night. Could care less. Do whatever you want to do with it.
And I've seen that before. I've actually seen it and laughed where I've shipped out items, and then they'll be selling it like Wednesday night, and then I checked the shipping, and it was delivered at 6 p.m. that day, and now it's like 8 o'clock, and it's a sale. But I don't care. I just think it's funny, but I don't care if they do that at all. It doesn't bother me the slightest bit.
Yeah, I think we've all done that before too. I've done that with stuff I've gotten in from eBay or whatever, or from another site or what, and you get it in. I'm like, I've been waiting for this for 3-4 days because I knew I was going to sell it because I was going to make a little bit of money on it and flip it. I mean,
most of the stuff
part of the game.
Most of the stuff that I sell and flip, I don't buy random pieces, and if I do, it's usually eBay. You don't ever see me on the groups buying pieces and flipping them. I try and buy the large collections from grandma and grandpa. Though that's usually the stuff that I sell. So you'll never really see me buy a piece from this group and then bring it over to this group. I just don't do that.
Yeah.
And so what's the number one story? I feel like we're all going to relate to this and know what it is when I say it, but the number one sob story you don't want to hear if somebody's going to then turn around and flip something or part of something they bought from you is, oh, I'm starting a vintage collection with my children. I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they love Star Wars, and I want to make this hobby with them. It's a new thing we're going to do together. And then you see somebody flipping. I feel like that's the number one story is I have little kids now and I'm starting a collection.
So to piggyback on, I am not going to say who the seller was or who the buyer was, but someone sold their, they collected with their grandfather or something like that, this full Star Wars collection, and he was going to sell it. He needed money or whatever. Some guy told him that him and his son are they're getting back into Star Wars and they need a collection or whatever. So he was just so happy that he can sell it, to someone else who's going to have this collection. So stuff that he had when he was little, he's going to pass it on to, this guy and his kid. Well, this guy has a kid, but that wasn't the reason why. He ended up selling all of his stuff right on all the Facebook pages, where he's in there also. So we saw all of his stuff just being sold left and right, and he hates this guy.
Well, just to interject a little bit now, didn't the guy say that his son was sick with some terminal disease too?
It's something like that. Whatever the story was, it was obviously made up. It was obviously bullcrap. And not that I don't care that the person lied. The worst part of it was he was selling it right, on all the Facebook pages where they're both on.
Yeah,
right under his nose.
He knew he was going to see all the stuff.
Yeah, I mean there's a big difference there between buying collectibles at a shop, buying them at a flea market, or
even eBay
goes.
Yeah, eBay,
eBay. I mean, obviously, it's wide open. You could do whatever you want because you're kind of doing it anonymously. If you're going into collector groups with other collectors and you're buying stuff from other collectors, listen, I mean, if you're buying a huge collection, that's different. You know, you're going to piece that out a little bit. You're going to keep some stuff, blah, blah, blah. But if you're buying like individual things and small collections, you know, and then you're going to turn around and sell it like in the same group, I mean, that's where the flipping can really, you know, kind of, I don't want to say backfire on you. It's probably not going to backfire, but you're going to piss some people off.
Yeah, it's just rude. It's just rude.
It's rude, right?
If you gotta hide it or do something else to like mask it, so it's just not
again
obvious.
Like they can do it, but they're probably gonna lose that person as a buyer / seller.
It just looks bad.
It's just a bad look, and you can just X off another person that you're ever gonna deal with again.
And you know, you might come across as you're lying, you know, to that person that you bought it from, and now that person might, you know, spread, you know, bad words about, you know, your name or your group or whatever you're in. So,
well, it has, you know, it actually did. It worked, and you know.
And I think another thing is that discourages generosity. And you know, that's
it's horrible. Sad. Yeah, it's sad because he was doing the right thing or thinking he was doing the right thing. And it ended up like literally backfiring on him, and it's just, you know, it's actually sad.
And that's also a blight on the hobby, you know.
Yep.
So don't mind me real fast. I got to run. It's my anniversary with my wife, and recording 5 Idiots podcast is not first on our list for tonight. So,
Charles, how many minutes ago did you remember it was your anniversary today?
I remembered this morning, but I will watch this episode. I'm gonna know what you guys say about me. So go ahead.
and we don't care.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, Charles.
Have
a good one.
See you, Charles.
All right, guys. So I'm going to take this moment to remind everybody to subscribe to the channel. Charles is gone, but we're pausing for a minute. Subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. Give us a comment on what you think about anything we talked about. Really, celebration. You know, the whiff of the week, the win of the week. We're going to continue this just for a couple of minutes, but I wanted just to say we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening on the podcast app. Come to rogue5toys.com if you want to come to our sales page. Hang out with us there. We are going to be doing some giveaways and some fun stuff is there as well. Guys, I just wanted to touch on the flipping a little bit more, and then we'll wrap this thing up. There's a way to do things, and the name flipping, I mean, it just comes off with a negative connotation to it because you're, you know, flipping something, you're taking something you just got and selling it for a profit. But it doesn't have to be that. It's just, it is part of the hobby of collecting anything. This isn't just Star Wars. Collecting any kind of toys, any kind of collectibles, anything that's, you know, artwork, anything that has value, coins, stamps. People collect all kinds of stuff. But there's ways to do things. You're going to, as a collector, you're going to at some point buy collections, whether it's 30 figures, 50 figures, 100 mocks. I mean, it could be anywhere on the spectrum. You're not going to keep everything. You're going to sell some of the stuff. You might have some stuff in your collection for a little bit and then sell it. But one thing, it's kind of a tip, but I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to help somebody do something nefarious. It's just part of the hobby. If you do buy some stuff and you want to sell it in some of the same areas where you bought it, think of it as an investment. Buy that collection, buy that thing that you think is a little bit underpriced. That's fine. Buy it, invest in it, make it part of your collection, hold on to it for a couple of months, see where the prices go. Star Wars seems to keep going up. And if you decide it's time to leave your collection and you want to sell it, you know, listen, 2 months later, 3 months later, nobody's going to remember anything. You're not selling it under anybody's nose. You're not being rude. But if you turn around and sell it the day that you got it from UPS at your front door, kind of rude, kind of like strange.
It happens all the time. People change focuses. People change stuff that they're collecting. And, you know, it's happened to me. I was buying mocks, and I was starting to go on a different path with mocks. I mainly collect 31 backs and 41A. Then I started getting into like Jedi, and then when I got a bunch of them into Jedi, I said, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I don't want Jedi. Let me just stick with what I was doing because I don't have the space to start doing Jedi cards. So one of them that I actually did buy for whatever reason, clear bubble Jedi cards we know are just going for a lot of money. So it's been 4 months, and I can probably say that the value of what I paid has doubled. But I'm sitting on this thing. I want to sell it so bad, but I feel so guilty listing it because this guy is on all the pages. So right now I'm just not even selling it, but I'm just going to probably list it at the price I bought it for, and just to get rid of it because,
Yeah.
I just feel bad like myself, but people do sell stuff all the time. You're always going to change your focus. You're always going to change a certain line that you're collecting, and it happens and stuff like that. But when you're doing it and you're literally selling it for like double the price the day of, the next day, or whatever, it's it's a bad look. It is.
I mean, obviously you're going to get stuff in that you don't like. So you get something in and it wasn't what you expected. With me, if I get a figure in and it's not what I was expecting because it has some kind of rubs on it I didn't see from the post, I might put it up for sale again, but usually I'll wait a little bit, maybe a couple weeks, a month, whatever, cycle through some other stuff and then post it up for sale. So that way it doesn't look that bad that, you're unhappy with the product that you bought and you're putting it up for sale once again. But there's no rule that says that you're not allowed to do that and that you're not allowed to do anything like that. But it just looks bad and it's in bad taste. And this is a people business and we need to keep, be mindful of that. And people do have feelings with certain things and people, sometimes get offended with how some transactions go. And especially if you post stuff for sale right after getting it. So as long as you keep that in mind and we're all in this. Some people are in this for the money. Some people are in this for straight collecting. But all in all, we're all in this because we enjoy the hobby and we enjoy the toys. We enjoy the discussions and the content that's out there for Star Wars and other toy lines and stuff like that. And the nostalgia that brings us back to our childhood and when we got certain things like that. So as long as you keep that in mind and remember that this is why we're here and this is why we collect. And, we collect and we sell stuff to further our collection and pay for the expensive collections that we do own. So, I mean, we can't keep everything, even though I would like to keep everything in my drawers and keep them locked up forever. I can't keep everything because I'd run out of room real fast. Real estate here in California is pretty expensive, so I can't expand. Sometimes I got to get rid of stuff, but I try my best not to do it, right in front of the person day of, and move it on later on because I do change my focus as well. I'm not into certain mocks anymore, and now I'm just trying to offload some of the ones that I have doubles of, and now I'm trying to focus my like Chris on ESP cards or some of the Return of the Jedi cards, mainly, and I'm trying to get rid of a lot of loose stuff that I have right now. But I'm not going to do it, flip it day of in front of somebody that I just bought.
No,
so that's why. My 2 cents.
I like to stick to these big collections, these mom and pop collections, sitting in grandma's attic and stuff like that. There's been a few times where, and every time I get a collection in, I always try and keep one piece of that collection to put into my collection because that's really what most of it is for, is to pad my own collection with pieces that I don't normally find or that I can't get or whatever. And there's been times where I wanted 2 baggies out of this collection, but the guy would just not sell it separately. You had to buy everything or nothing. And it was $12,000. I spent $12,000 to get 2 baggies that were for $500 because he would not sell it. And don't get me wrong, it still worked out in the end for me because I broke everything up and I sold everything and I pretty much got the 2 pieces of my collection for free. But those are times when you have to do it, to get the stuff that you want.
And a footnote on that, you may have gotten them for quote unquote free, but that's a lot of work to go through all of those.
And it wasn't free. I actually had
to pack and
I had to drive through 3 state lines. It was a long car ride back and forth.
The minimum you should get is those baggies for free, because
I bought
just packing all that stuff up.
A collection of 40 mocks, and I was only after one of the mocks in that, and I bought all 40 because they didn't want to piece it out and I just wanted one of them.
Yep.
So sometimes that's what you got to do. Buy one, sell the other 39 because that's one that you really want.
And one of those baggies that I actually kept for myself, someone at one point wanted it and they were begging me for it, and I was like trying to like tell them like, listen, like I drove 8 hours of the day through 3 state lines to sell a $12,000 collection for this one piece. Like, I know you want it and I know you need it for your set, but like there's nothing you're gonna say that's gonna make me get rid of it. Nothing.
Yeah. And to speak real quick to the, the idea that we get some stuff in that we just don't like when it gets there. We don't like the, the quality of it, or it's not what we expected. Yeah. Knowing the 4 or 5 of us, we are all the kind that will then turn around. And if we do sell it, if we wait a little bit, whatever, however it plays out, when we do list it, we're then the ones who are going to be super descriptive and describe it how we wish it was described to us. And I think it's probably happened to all of us. I've sold stuff where I've taken a loss on it before because I've done that. Like I paid X dollars for it. I got it. And I'm like, oh man, this is not what I expected.
Oh yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'll put it up for, 3/4 of what I paid for it or less, because that's what it's worth now to me. It's not worth what I paid for it because it's broken or, it's yellowed or whatever. People
really think that you buy collections and like, let's just say like last 17 figures. They think that you're buying these figures for $25 a piece and then selling them for $300-400. It's not like that at all. It's not even close to that. I've sold so many things where I've taken a loss for it. Yeah, it looks like I'm selling things left and right, but I've taken a loss on a lot of stuff just because I just didn't want it anymore.
No, I'll go to a toy show, which is only a couple times a year around me. I'll go to a toy show and I'll buy, a last 17 figure for, $200, which I know is a good price for, say, a given figure. I'm just making this up, but $200, and I know I can turn around and sell it for $240.
Correct.
And I'll buy it because I know that it's something. It's it's content for our sales page, or it's something for me to put up in a live sale, because I really just enjoy doing the live sales. I do a lot less now lately, but I enjoy doing them, and it gives me something nice to put up. But you're talking about making like 20, 30, $40 on some of this stuff. It's just to keep the lights on, so to speak, in the hobby.
Right. Is there a moral of the story here, John, or no?
Is there a moral of the story?
John's our moral compass.
Be kind.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted him to say.
Be the eye and kind.
Yes, there's a right way to do things, and then there's the wrong way to do things. Try, even if it's the wrong way, just try and be kind about it when you do it. Like,
Right. And there's a difference. I just want to say this too, and then we'll wrap it up. There's a difference between scalpers and flippers. And there's also a difference between flippers and flipping. When we say flipping, we're talking about regular collectors in the hobby who have to then take something and flip it. Not, I don't say have to, but do flip something for all the reasons we spelled out. You got something, you don't like it. You've changed your focus. You can't keep so many things. You've got to... for the financial part of it, you decide to move on from something and get something else. There's a lot of reasons, but we're speaking to flipping as collectors. There's reasons why you will move something originally in and then eventually out of your collection. That's a big difference between somebody who's, clearing the shelves in a store, or getting something at retail and then jacking the price up 4 times when it just came out, versus somebody who does it for a living, where they're just constantly turning stuff over and flipping it as part of their, income. So we're just speaking to the ways to properly pass things in and out of your collection as a collector in front of other collectors who you're friendly with, who you've gotten to know in the groups that you're in. There's just etiquette. There's good form and bad form. And we just thought it was a good topic to talk about tonight. All right, boys, it sounds like this is the end of another episode. Had a good time hanging out with you guys. For everybody who's watching, please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. It does help us out. Gives us some ability to do some other fun things and bring some new content to YouTube, to Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, and to wherever you're listening to us. We appreciate you all. We have a subscriber giveaway to remind you about. We are giving away a HasLab Razor Crest. If you go to our YouTube channel on the front page, you'll see a video and how to enter there. we are also going to have a raffle for the item that Chris is holding up right now. John, can we get Chris on the screen?
Let's do that. Yeah.
This is an ESB beautifully carded figure, a Stormtrooper. What back is that, Chris?
This would be the 41D back because it goes by these two pictures down here. So that would be a D. It's a 41D back. It's an offerless ESB Stormtrooper. Now the blaster is loose. The tape is yellow. It's not his body. It's just the tape. But that's very common when you see Stormtroopers, especially in Stormtrooper baggies. They always turn yellow like the tape. But it's a very nice mock, and this will be raffling off soon.
Nice. So we're going to do a raffle on our sales page, rogue5toys.com. We'll get you there. It's on Facebook. You can also go to 5idiotstalkingtoys.com. That will get you to all of the links for everything that we do. Our merchandise store, where you can grab yourself a t-shirt, all the way down to our sales page and all of the socials where all of our content is. And by the way, check us out on TikTok. We have videos there that we don't put anywhere else. We've got YouTube shorts for some short stuff there. A lot of the stuff from Brandon's celebration trip is in YouTube as a short. And we're also putting up additional stuff on Instagram, now Twitter, and of course our Facebook page. Thanks very much for watching, guys, to all of you. And guys, nice hanging out with you again tonight. We will see you on the next episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys.
Bye, Charles.
Bye, Charles.
Bye, Charles.
It's been nice and quiet without him.
Negative Nancy has left the building.
So much more positive.
God.
Positive vibes.
Keep this part in, John.
It's staying in.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
All right.
All right.